Okay, let's continue on here, and we'll move to section 5, council reports. Councilor Nadeau.
Okay. I just want to say those presentations were excellent, and the three presenters did a great job. Just to start, I'd like to update council on the Yellowhead. We had a Yellowhead meeting last night. There's a lot of excitement in the air with curling coming here in February. Everyone's getting all set, and we really think our community's ready to host it, so it's a really positive thing. There's talk of possibly the circus coming back again this year. And a couple small changes to note to public skating. At our meeting last night, we decided that anyone that wants to enjoy the public skating has to wear a helmet if you're under 18 years of age. And Sticks and Pucks already has that requirement, so definitely it'll add to the safety of our residents when they're using the ice surface. But a lot of really good things going on at the Yellowhead, and those were the highlights for you guys.
Very good. Any questions? And if not, Councilor Sisseton.
I've got a few things to report on. We received the final approval needed, so I attended the kickoff meeting for the review of the Yellowhead Arena Complex, which was held on January 10th. The project start was delayed due to the holidays and the need for final government approvals. Phase 1 and 2 have begun. These phases will consist of current state analysis, data gathering, and assessment. Lindsay and members of the Yellowhead board will be working directly with Deloitte staff to get all that info together. But we are very excited to get the ball rolling on that. And just a quick reminder about the flats to all the users of the flats. We are fortunate to have the use of the change room and washroom facility. We ask for assistance from all residents to keep their eyes and ears open and report any vandalism or those being disrespectful to our staff, users of the rinks, fields, and facilities. It's been great to see so many people enjoying the rink over the last few weeks, and thanks to our staff for all their hard work on it. My other report is on the handyman. We had a meeting January 10th. We recorded 304 trips in December. Justin took the 2016 van in for its safety for this year. It does need struts and the emergency brake fixed, so that's going to be an additional $1,500 to have it safety. Handyman has a new Facebook page. It is Handyman Neepawa. In the 2 weeks since I created the page, we have had our posts reach 6,644 people, with post engagements of 1,187. So that's far more coverage than the Handyman's had previously. The posts I've shared are full of information about upcoming events and just general information most people don't realize in regard to the Handyman. So some examples are the casino trips. They are for anyone 55 plus, so you can call Michelle at hand at 204-476-2009, and she will get you booked in for that. It's $20 to go on the casino trip, and you get a free entree, and you get free play for that $20, so it's pretty much pays for itself. The voucher books that the Handyman sells, it's 10 trip vouchers in the books. You actually save 50 cents a trip if you buy the books. And also just for cold weather, student pickup. The Handyman is mandated for seniors and persons with disabilities, but they can actually also service anybody in town, basically. So since the Facebook page has been up and running, Justin's noticed a major increase in ridership. And also the Handyman has an email address because they've never had an email before. So it's handymanneepawa@outlook.com. The email is checked daily, so if you do have any questions or concerns, just send them to the email.
Great. Thank you. Councilor Gerard.
Yes, on January the 9th, the Finance Committee met regarding opening the grant applications that have come into the community for the upcoming year. Obviously, there's no decisions made at this point, but we've reviewed now what the grants are in, and we will review with all members of council going forward. At that time, we also had some conversations regarding some of the requirements of administration, what we see as some of immediate needs, some of the immediate large ticket items that are going to be facing our community. They can be problematic. They're also great opportunities for our community. But with that, we're going to, good due diligence in advance, so that way a lot of thoughts put into the finance process before we get to actual budget. But yes, and we will be reviewing some of those grants that did come in with the rest of council as well.
Okay. Any other questions? Not Deputy Leader.
Okay, let's see. We had a really good meeting this past Thursday at the Legion that was led by Shared Health and Prairie Mountain Health. The place was packed, the questions were respectful, and the answers that we were given were very fulfilling. So it was a pretty awesome meeting for our town. Our CAO Cinchishan managed to bring in Shared Health and the hydro business today, together with our planning district and a couple of councillors, to clarify some hydro details that were pending, and it was a very successful meeting, and I give kudos for you to be able to bring in all the big brass like that. Our clinic committee and NADCO will be meeting this Thursday morning at 7 a.m. come usual, except for we skipped one, I think we skipped December, just because there were so many things going on, and respect for some other things that are happening. And while at the clinic yesterday doing my little thing, I was talking to a nice lady, and her parting comment to me was, our little community has a lot to offer. Bam.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Any other reports? Okay, if not, we will move to Manager of Operations. Denny.
Thank you, Mayor. All in all, things have been pretty quiet. Been attending several meetings, whether they be for the possible servicing, some of the infrastructure required, some of the planning, ongoing there. We've had some kickoff meetings with the Park Lake project as well with Tricor, just to see the updates of what's going on. Things are progressing really nicely there. Sheet piling was going a lot easier than they anticipated, so they're ahead of their schedule, I believe there. From that project, that same contractor will move over to the golf course and pursue some work over there. So they've been bouncing from job site to job site, and things move along. They're doing a bit of earthwork as well. And then you probably see things cool down there, and then we'll have to wait for spring before they can do much more work as far as the bank reconstruction works and concrete. So that's moving along. Our engineers say we've been talking about some of the proposals we've in place with them, so they're working on the designs, they're working on some of the proposals, so we'll anticipate a few more coming for us for council review in the coming months, and we'll plug those in the budget. Likewise with Councillor Jordan was mentioning, the budget's being built right now with a lot of emphasis on we're going to have some big expenditures coming up, so we'll have to be cautious what we budget for. Staff have been busy with snow clearing and trying to keep that. Just a note to residents, if you do notice snow pile on your corner or on your front boulevard, it's likely just temporary. Staff will come back, so just be a little patient. If it's forgotten about, give us a call. I'll check why staff missed it, but just kind of wait a couple of days and they should be able to come by and clear it up for you. That's everything I got.
Okay, any questions? So the sheet piling was going on at Park Lake?
Yep.
And then there is to be piling as well at the golf course, correct?
Yes, they're going to put sheet piling in there as well as part of the bank stabilization project where they had some excessive erosion.
Yeah.
We'll also be switching over to that site, and then they'll work on the bridge construction for the golf course, because that has to be completed prior to spring.
And so that will all, the golf course will be completed totally by spring and
It should be, there'll be some residual small work, like seeding with the gravel bed work, but as far as the brunt of the work, it should all be completed.
excellent. Okay, Councilor Turner.
Yeah, there, just shortly after Christmas, there was some issues with some sewer back up in the far northeast corner of the community again. Maybe you could touch on what caused that. Again, it wasn't like instances before, but we've seen around our community.
As far as I was informed, the northeast sector of town was a grease plug again, like we've seen in several areas around town. This is directly isolated to that area, so we know that those residents in that neighborhood were the culprits of it. It wasn't passed down the pipe from somewhere else. It's unfortunate. We've tried to express more literature out to the residents. You can't put grease down the drain. There's far too much of it happening. It's causing wreaking havoc on our system. I think we're trying to run some tally on numbers of what we're spending to combat grease, and it's ridiculous what we're spending.
And letters were sent out.
Yeah, letters were sent out to that neighborhood, but, yeah, if people stopped it, we'd have a heck of a lot more money to play with in the utility budget.
Just touching on that, right, I mean, the community purchased a pumper truck 8 years ago,
8 years ago.
and it's just about wore out already.
It was a used truck. We got introduced to the back combo unit. We wanted something for rapid response. And right currently now, staff are begging for a new truck. The new truck will probably run us close to $700,000. And this is 90% of that will be to combat grease plugs that are avoidable. So it's frustrating. Staff are going out at any time of the day or evening to go and combat these, so.
Thank you. I kind of knew the answers, but I thought it would be nice to bring it to the floor.
In our education, we should also mention that, yeah, you know, you don't pour it down the sink, but you also don't flush it down the toilet. It's the same journey.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even if you put scalding hot water down with it, you're just still gonna plug the, you get it past your service line, but it's still gonna plug up down the pipe somewhere.
Down the pipe.
Where is our oil? Where can residents take their grease and oil?
Well, grease right now, essentially if you have it separated and let it cool off, either in a little coffee cup or something like that, wipe your dishes out with paper towel, and all that stuff can go in the trash, a sealed container. Ideally not loose. We don't want it to kind of spill around the room, but if it's in a capped container, put it there. There's different areas. We do not have an official grease collection, cooking grease collection area. That's something we've been discussing for a while now. I think it'll be something to be implemented this year. So we're still running out the logistics of it.
Great, thank you.
Biodiesel.
Okay, thank you, Denise. So we'll move on to section 7, correspondence.
The only thing I have is the RCP quarterly report from October 1st to December 31st, 2022. Just hit the highlights. In that period of time, 3 stationary check stops were set up in the Spruce Plains area. There were numerous road and traffic patrols and gravel road patrols throughout the Spruce Plains area. Town of Neepawa had 1 subject receive an immediate roadside prohibition, and 1 adult male was charged with impaired driving. 1 subject also was charged with using a handheld cellular device while driving and received a driver's license suspension. 66 traffic tickets have been written in Spruce Plains Detachment in this past quarter, with 8 of those in the town of Neepawa. During this quarter, 6 offender management files were opened, 14 curfew checks performed on these subjects. In the vast majority of these checks, there was compliance. However, 3 subjects were found breaching conditions and warrants have been issued for their arrests. Other than that, more general, we currently have 2 vacant positions in the Spruce Plains area. There will be a member transferring out of Manitoba North District, expected to arrive here in May of 2023. And then, of course, the vacant corporal position in Minnedosa has now been advertised for a promotion. And we had a new detachment services assistant start, and started, I think it was December 28th, and they're going for training right now. And the interesting part is we actually hired that person in July. They came from the Brandon Police Service, had fully passed all of their security checks, worked there for years, but the small gap in employment for a few months between moving to Neepawa and setting up here is it took from July to December to get them security cleared again. So it takes a long time to get somebody in place over at the RCP attachment.
Okay, any questions, Colin? Moving on to finance. Everyone should have reviewed the December accounts. So the motion is be it resolved that we approve the accounts December 2022 totaling $1,586,891.60 as reviewed, representing checks 2022 02250 and 2022 02446, but excluding 2022 02304. Moved by Councillor Pottinger, seconded by Councillor Gerard. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Myself.
Okay,
Yes, I think.
Councillor Gerard removes himself for conflict. So the resolution is be resolved that we approve the check 2022-02304 for December of 2022 for home hardware totaling $177.71. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Kostenchuk. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Accounts, no, tax sale.
So every year in January, we pass a resolution designating the year for which properties and arrears will be offered for tax sale. This year, that year is 2022, meaning that everything that has outstanding taxes registered against us from the year 2021 or prior will be listed and registered for purposes of tax sale. Tax sale will be November 2nd at 2 p.m. here in our office.
Questions? Okay, motion be it resolved that we hereby designate 2022 as the year which properties in arrears will be offered for sale by way of public auction, and be further resolved that the tax sale will be held November 2nd, 22,
Oh,
23.
Yeah, 23, sorry.
23, at 2 p.m. in the council chambers of the town of Neepawa, 275 Hamilton Street, Manitoba, with tax service appointed to manage the tax sale and conduct the proceedings on behalf of the town. So, moved by Councillor Nadeau, seconded by Councillor Kostenchuk. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I've reached my New Year's resolution of writing 2023.
You're allowed to do the first meeting, it's kind of like your checks.
Yeah.
Okay, new business. Variation of application. I don't know if there's anything else that we have to discuss that, we've discussed it. Was there anything else to add on that?
I don't think so, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the motion, be it resolved that we approve the variation VO5-2022 of Daniel Zettler respecting 475 Main Street East and Southwest 341415 to vary the minimum site area from the required 20 acres to 14.98 acres in the AR-R agricultural restricted residential zone. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott and seconded by Councillor Gerard. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Waitera, Permanent Girl.
So this is a request that came forward from the organizing committee for the Viterra Manitoba Men's Provincial Championships to provide them with the ability to have a social occasional permit for liquor, basically sales and whatnot, and host their event. They have asked Neepawa to declare their event as a community event so that we can do the license.
Questions? Councillor Butler?
There's only a certain number of community events can be held, just two.
Yeah, we'll have another one coming in May for the fair. Can you get another? You can. you have to have special permission of the province. So you're allowed to, but then you need special, should something come up that's really important, we want to support, we have to make a special application.
Have we ever done that? Made an application?
I don't recall that I've been here, we have.
Okay.
Okay, yes, very exciting, February 7th to 12th. So the motion is, be it resolved that the council of the town of Neepawa declare the 2023 Viterra Manitoba Men's Provincial Curling Championship as a community event, entitling them to obtain the community events liquor permit for the period of February 7th to the 12th, 23. Moved by Councillor Sicily, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Medical clinic lottery.
So Ms. Murray wants to speak, but this is just an annual resolution, Murray, go ahead.
Oh, well, four municipalities that form a clinic committee. We do the farm and leisure lottery every year and have for quite a few years. It started with the care home and it's carried on to the medical clinic and will continue on as there will be a greater need for more space again coming soon. So this is to allow Mary Ellen Clark to proceed with all the paperwork that she needs to do to raise all this money. And she probably in the next month or so, once the bills are paid, be able to tell you what we made in the last lottery.
Okay, any questions? Okay, whereas Neepawa District Medical Committee, as represented by the municipal jurisdictions Neepawa, Glenella, Lansdowne, North Cypress, Langford, and Rosedale, will be filing an application to obtain a charitable gaming license as part of their annual fundraising efforts in 2023 to sustain and improve the health services for the community and surrounding areas. Therefore, be it resolved that the base of the contribution sharing agreement, the council of the town of Neepawa agreed to financially support the committee in their efforts to secure a license and raise money for the Neepawa and District Wellness Center in 2023. Moved by Councillor Kostenchuk, seconded by Deputy Mayor Parrott. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Cemetery database.
So if you recall last September, and probably if you look a few years back, we talked about digitizing our records here and making them more searchable and bringing ourselves into the year 2023, rather than we started those little recipe cards. We're moving on from that. So in September, you passed a resolution allowing us to proceed with Company North Central Square to undertake the building and converting of our current Excel spreadsheet into a user-friendly, searchable, more robust and secure cemetery database. So pricing at the time included the base components, which were basically transferring data, the mapping and everything, and a yearly maintenance cost. We were anticipating when we brought that to council that we would work with our internal people and our local surveyors to actually assist in converting the mapping into the digital GIS and the AutoCAD and the shapefile overlay and whatnot, rather than going through a third party. So staff have been working diligently with our internal people who finally determined that it's just a service they cannot provide. So a resolution at that time said it was a certain fee plus the cost of this GIS mapping and whatnot, because we didn't know where we were going. And he's approved that, and we approved that all those monies come from the reserve. So they have actually taken a look at the Lees and Associate, who I'm asking you to approve tonight, and said that the quote they gave us is really good value for the price of the project, and we would be, be a bit remiss for us to not accept that. So we're asking for you to approve Lees and Associates to work in conjunction with Central Square to make sure that we can move forward with this. They would like a 30% up front. The value is just over $8,000 to do that. Staff currently are doing cleaning up of the spreadsheets that we have on hand. They're sharing all of our mapping, both paper and digital, and that includes the cremation gardens and the columbariums. And the next steps that Lees and Associates will prepare the appropriate map in an AutoCAD 3D-based drawing, all of our paper maps, our plotting plans, our aerial and satellite imagery, and any other data that we have in the surveys. Staff will then review the accuracy of all that, and then we'll start linking all of the paper documents to the current Excel sheet and convert those and import them into the new software. They will link the cemetery records in the GIS mapping and create the digital files necessary for Central Square to insert them into the module, and of course then ongoing testing and whatnot. So we're asking for you to now approve Lee's and Associate for greater than $8,000 to be the person that will service us to get this cemetery database up and running.
Any questions?
No. So the 8,000 is the deposit, or the deposit will be a portion of the 8,000?
30% of the 8,000.
Okay.
And it'll all come, we're asking as well that it'll come out of the cemetery.
Okay, resolution reads, whereas resolution 2022-186 approved the purchase of cemetery database software and GIS mapping from Central Square, understanding that it has been necessary to solicit the services of Lees and Associates to complete the AutoCAD map 3D base drawing and link the map to the cemetery records. And whereas prior to proceeding, Lees and Associates would like a formal commitment in the amount of $8,305 plus taxes. Therefore, be it resolved that we approve entering into agreement with Lees and Associates for services provided to complete the mapping to augment the creation of the database by Central Square with the required funding borne by the Cemetery Maintenance Reserve. Moved by Councillor Gerard, seconded by Councillor Nadeau. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, and we have one more bylaw.
So this is your cemetery bylaw. It's in effect actually the rates for 2022-24. What we're finding though is throughout COVID and whatnot, the honorarium plaques were actually increasing. So the fee we had established in our bylaw is what we've been charging people, but when the invoices have been coming in lately, we're clearly subsidizing, not major amounts, but 20, 30, 40, whatever it ended up being. The point is, we have to look beyond that now. So the only amendment in this bylaw, and I'm doing it by way of repeal of the old bylaw, just so that we can make sure we don't have amendments that we're missing. We're just putting in the bylaw now the cost and freight. That's it. We're not putting a number. We're saying whatever we receive for the invoice, that gets passed on to the customer. And then we, of course, would have to prove that we support that no matter if the increase came about or not. So that's all we're asking. Small amendment.
Any question? Be it resolved that the bylaw 3220-23, being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa providing for the regulation, maintenance, and care and operation of the Neepawa Riverside Cemetery, be now read for the first time. Moved by Councillor Kostenchuk, seconded by Councillor Nadeau. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Any other business? Oh,
I'll speak
I
up.
passed. I'm the last one.
I'll be happy to report that all 7 members of council have passed a code of conduct course required by Department of Municipal Rules.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did a teacher ever tell you to wait to the last part?
Well,
Are you gonna have that frame?
of course.
All right, adjournment. Be it resolved that the council of the town of Neepawa do open this meeting, council at 8:15.
I already wrote this.
Moved by Councillor Kostenchuk, seconded